Hi folks, welcome to our video on the topic of focus stacking and focus fusion. We're here on the interface of the program Focus 6 Professional. I've got a little stack with me here, a focus stack, to show you how it all works. Let's open the first image. Here we can see a really typical effect when you take a close-up macro shot. The camera is focused on the front, making it nice and sharp, and as we move towards the back, the image becomes blurred. In the next image, I've set the focus area back slightly, and now you can see that it's sharp a little further back and blurry at the front. So now we work through the motif image by image. This was taken by hand, simply by adjusting the focus ring. You can see as we go back and forth that the sharpness moves through the image quite nicely. We can use the technique of focus stacking to create a consistently sharp image from a stack like ours. To do that, I'll select all the images and then drag and drop them here to load them directly into Focus 6 Professional. The images are aligned to compensate for any camera shake. Now the program presents us with a quite feasibly consistently sharp version. As you can see, the front is sharp and the picture remains sharp all the way to the back. Naturally, the background to the rear is still blurry because we didn't take any sharp pictures there. At the front here, we're now in the image post-processing area. The program always automatically opens with the focus stack with the focus fusion of the images calculated in image post-processing. All these modules are intended for image post-processing. However, in this video, we're focusing on the focus stack itself, on the focus fusion, and to do that, we can go to Edit and Edit Image Sequence and switch to the focus stacking area. This is all the focus stacking area, and here on the left side, we see our 5 images. We can click through them, sharp at the front, sharp a bit further back, and the sharpness moves through the motif until it's sharp at the back. And the images we see next to them, these black and white images, let's click one, are the masks calculated by the focus stacking algorithm. So it's said that everything that's bright here, that's this image here, everything we see here is sharp, and everywhere that's dark is out of focus. And so focus fusion composes this image from the different images. If we want to take a more refined look at this, the image sequence view is up here. I'll click on that, and now we see a new window with our focus stack. You can show and hide the weighting here, and then go through the focus stack in the timeline at the bottom to see whether everything worked well, if everything is as intended. And as we can see, this is a very smooth focus stack. I'm going to turn off the weighting. Then we can use this tool to check whether our image alignment worked well. As you can see, it worked very well. That's a very smooth result overall. The handheld focus stack was really nicely aligned. That's a good starting point for achieving a nice focus stacking result. There are a whole load of other tools here. At the top there's a significance check. We can click that and let the program automatically check the focus stack based on the image content. The program tells us here that all the active images contain a significant component of the resulting image, so it's a good focus stack. There's no unnecessary image that doesn't contribute to the sharp result. Apart from that, we have the area for focus stacking algorithms here on the right hand side. I briefly mentioned this earlier. The algorithms precisely calculate these masking images from which the fusion is then calculated. Now, why are there so many algorithms here? Let's take a closer look at a point here. This is a typical problem area that we're looking at. It's the exact point of transition between a sharpness plane at the front and a sharpness plane at the back, because the camera bokeh creates a contour blurring. This area often creates challenges with focus stacking because it's where focus halos frequently appear. You can see this soft transition here, and if I now choose a different algorithm, I get a different result. Notice I said different result. There are many different methods, such as cubic error, square error. They are methods from the field of statistics. You may have heard of square error in statistical computing. Then there are color algorithms, variance algorithms, Gaussian pyramid algorithms. All these pyramid algorithms produce a very soft result. Here we have the PSF algorithms, the point spread function algorithms, which work with blur analysis and with camera shake analysis in particular. So there are a whole range of methods. Now let's take a look at the cubic error. It creates a quite untidy result at the bottom edge of the mushroom here compared to the PSF color algorithm, which provides a very smooth result. Unfortunately, you can't predict whether this or that algorithm will produce the better image because it varies from focus stack to focus stack. It depends on the motif. That's why we've made all these algorithms available to choose from to provide a wide range of options for you to experiment with. Down here, we also have some parameters for each algorithm, such as a radius. Now let's zoom in a bit more. Here we can see the transition from the mushroom to this blade of grass. If I increase the radius now, this soft edge becomes wider. In other words, larger, rougher details are calculated. And if I decrease the radius, finer details are used for the calculation. That means you can also control whether you want to give fine details or coarse details more priority. In the area below that, contrast range, there are 3 automatic buttons for controlling brightness and contrast optimization. Here's the optimum button. Then we have the high contrast button for deep shadows and bright lights, and the compressed button, which automatically looks for the best setting. Usually a brighter developed variant in Focus Fusion, which then, I'll switch back to the post-processing area now, forms the basis for post-processing. There are lots of videos about the post-processing section, such as selective drawing and the raw module, that explain what you can do with all the features here. The color module, which we can just see down here. There are separate videos, extra videos for each, so feel free to watch them. I just want to go back to the edit image sequence area and point one thing out. I'll set the compression back to 0% and zoom in again. Turn off interpolation. And there's one more thing I want to focus on. It's this diamond cut sharpness method up here. This green diamond. Let's zoom in a bit more. If I turn it off now, our focus stack becomes a bit softer. What's left behind is a specially optimized sharpening method for focus stacks, which is capable of extracting even more detail. So I hope I was able to shed some light on focus stacking and focus fusion for you. Have fun experimenting with it.